What is going on, you guys? It is Mr. No Sleep here from Old School RuneScape, and welcome to a brand new video for you all today. So today I bring you guys at long last loot from 100 Chambers of Xeric, also known as raids. Starting at KC 125 overall, and of course ending the video at 225 overall. I really hadn't been to raids 1 in a very long time on my main, at least a couple years. I was at raids earlier this year on my Iron Man, and I did get about one item through about 130 KC, so I was familiar with it. And for the most part in this video you guys will see this whole entire 100 KC done in groups of 3 and 4, and I did end up raiding with the same group that I was raiding with months ago on my Iron Man account, so everyone knew each other, and we didn't have any problems with splitting every single drop that we would get. So yeah, keep that in mind once you guys do see the price check, that all of this was basically in splits, and all of the drops you guys will see in this video were under my name as well as all of the people that I was with. So you might see a difference in drops if you do decide to solo, so that is something to keep in mind. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into today's video. But first, we have some quick words from our sponsor, Raid Shadow. Nah, I'm just kidding. Had to do that to you guys. Now, as you all have probably seen by now, I did decide to invest in a scythe for the making of this video, and this was the first ever time that I've bought a scythe on my account, and definitely the first time making a video with it. It was a lot of fun to use, but it did cost a lot in blood runes. But you know, the price was hovering down at 650 mil, so I just couldn't pass up that opportunity. And since I did buy the scythe, I couldn't afford ancestral or twisted bow, but later on in the video I did sell some things, and I did manage to buy myself a set of Pegasian boots. So I was trying for the most part to use pretty good gear, you know, not the most best in slot gear in the world, but something that was good enough in order to do 100 raids with. And it is important to note that before this video began, I did make a promise to a friend of mine that if I did get a twisted bow or a pet during this video, that I myself would go for an Inferno cape before the year is over. And well, 15 raids in, you can see that we're off to a great start. Arcane Prayer Scroll, certainly not an Inferno cape attempt or anything close to it, but it is an item nevertheless, and I was, you know, at least happy to see that. Now, we did end up selling it for 4.3 mil, and the original split of that was 867k. Of course, I was the only one that did take a split from that, because I would say most of the time, if you're in a team and you do get an Arcane Prayer Scroll, the go-to thing is to just stake it. Not speaking from experience, but I do hear that's what a lot of people do. There is another prayer scroll that you can get in raids that is called a Dexterous prayer scroll. That's the prayer scroll that unlocks the prayer rigor. That is definitely the one you want to see, because the price of that is currently 56.1 mil compared to the 4.4 mil that the Arcane prayer scroll is worth. And speaking of scrolls, they also have elite clue scrolls from Chambers of Xeric, so that is pretty cool. You guys know me, I love doing elites, and I did do 4 out of the 5 that I got during this video. I had one elite step where I had to do some quest, and that's not gonna happen. So yeah, other than all those scrolls and all of the other rares that you can get from raids, the normal drop table is something that's always intrigued me, because it was really beneficial back in the day when I would do raids on my Iron Man to always get the herbs and the gems, as well as the ores, the planks, the runes, and the fangs, the arrows. I mean, there's just tons of resources and supplies for Iron Man accounts, and of course for main accounts as well, because if you happen to be someone that prioritizes all the points in your raid, then that will only mean that your reward goes up in value, and all those ores and all those materials and supplies, that's just going to add a lot more value to doing raids over time. And that way, you know, you get to pay off the amount of supplies that you use. Maybe you're using dragon darts, maybe you're using a sang staff, a lot of blood runes, or a scythe. Even just a blowpipe and a trident always costs supplies. It is important to try your best in raids, try not to die, try not to lose too many points for your team or yourself, and that way the potential of your reward can be at its highest. Me personally, I was getting about 20 to 25,000 points per raid if there was no deaths or anything like that, and that was pretty good. You know, there is people out there that get a lot more than that, but it all depends on, you know, how you raid and how efficient and how good you really are. Now, speaking of good things, ladies and gentlemen, here we go with drop number 2. What is it gonna be? What is it gonna be? Does it start with a D? Absolutely it does. Dexterous prayer scroll. Second drop of the video and the first drop in my name. That purple color looks so good. And yeah, it was a really good price, like I mentioned before. You know, it was hovering around the price of anywhere from 54 to 56 mil during the video, so the split on that was pretty decent compared to the Arcane prayer scroll, and everyone ended up getting just about 14 mil from that. So yeah, I was pretty motivated at that point. That was the 43rd raid, I believe, in the video so far towards the 100 goal, and it was a very late night, around 2 o'clock in the morning, and I decided to do 2 more raids that night, as that platinum stack was growing almost almost at 15 mil from the splits so far. Didn't get the back-to-back, but on the very last raid of that night, I did actually get another item, and to my surprise, I did see the purple light again, and the item ended up being none other than Dragon Claws, second in my name of the video, third drop overall, and a pretty similar price towards the Dexterous Prayer Scroll, just about 1 mil more. And since there was one Iron Man in this trio, I only had to split it with one main, so that way I did actually get to walk away with more money than I would have originally. So the split ended up being 28.5 mil per person, which was awesome. It really did help that platinum token stack out a lot. 28 mil into the bank, and now we were at 43 overall, so pretty good amount just from the splits at that point. Now a quick fun fact about raids, you know, not only can you bring your friends with you, but you can also bring your pets too, and they can actually help you out. As you can see in this clip, I was using my cat to kind of direct me in order to run the head at Ohm, and you know, my cat did help me out a lot with that. So it's something to keep in mind, you know, maybe you're needing a little bit of assistance, guide isn't helping you, your friend isn't helping you, maybe your pet can. Moving on from that, we have our next item coming in at raid number 54 out of 100, another drop, and I was, you know, pretty happy that this also was in a trio, not a 4-man, because this as well was a Dexterous Prayer Scroll. This time not in my name, but that's no worries. I did end up selling it in the Grand Exchange for just around 55 mil this time, and we did split it 3 ways, and we all ended up walking away with a nice split of 18.5 mil. So I was really happy to see a Dex and not an Arcane. I'm sure everyone can relate to that, except of course that one Iron Man that has 10 Dexes and no Arcanes. You know, there's always that one guy. You know, there's another drop that Raids does offer that is actually untradeable, and it's called a Dark Relic, and it's one of those things that it kind of reminds me of an ancient effigy back in RuneScape 3. It kind of just gives you a lot of XP and any skill that you train while doing a raid. For example, mining, agility, fishing, something like that. I would say all these raid items in general are pretty fascinating. You know, looking at the price of the top items that you can get from raids, you know, the luckiest of people do end up getting the Twisted Bow, which is at a current price of 1,030 million. And if you are the unluckiest of people, then you'll just be seeing that. Or of course the Torn version. But either way, it is important to note that if your luck is somewhere in the middle, you know, not all the way at the bottom next to the Arcane Scroll or all the way at the top next to the T-Bow, then there's a lot of items that you can potentially get while raiding. There is a Twisted Buckler, which is currently about 6 mil, a Dragon Hunter Crossbow, which is 110 mil, of course any of the Ancestral pieces, which range from 14 to 60, and of course the reason that I wanted to name some of the other drops that you can get while doing raids is because you obviously won't see all of the drops in just one video, loot from 100. Maybe in the future, if I do loot from 1000, you guys will see all the raid drops. However, for now, you guys are just gonna have to deal with the consistency of the Arcane Prayer Scrolls. Yeah, for the record, if you guys do enjoy this video and you're just a big fan of raids in general, feel free to leave a like and a comment below and let me know if you want to see loot from 1000. The only reason that I didn't want to do it this time was because it would have to be a commitment of about 2 months minimum, so I figured since I just committed a month to the PKing video, another 2 months of no vids would be kind of outrageous and honestly pretty stupid. So yeah, I didn't want to do that just yet, but maybe I can think of something where I do it like slowly in increments over time and it doesn't take that much time in one go. So let me know what you guys think about that. Well, as we slowly approach and make our way towards 100, we do have another drop to show. This was obtained at raid number 85 overall. Was not in my name again, but that's okay. To our surprise, we did see an Arcane Prayer Scroll, and the split from that was about 1.3 mil. And if you guys think that is unlucky, just wait a few more seconds, because I gotta say what happened next was pretty weird and also pretty annoying at the same time. So I did get an Elite Clue Scroll, and as I mentioned earlier on in the video, I had to drop it because, you know, I just didn't have the quest complete. Then I got another Elite, and luckily I was able to do that one. So I was happy and I was smiling, but quickly my smile faded away because as I was approaching the end of a raid, I finished it and I didn't see anything. I didn't think that we got anything. You know, my game wasn't set to filtered and I just didn't see any red in the chat box, but little did I know we did actually get another, yes, another Arcane Prayer Scroll. And as you can see it there in the chat, was very unfortunate, but you know, at least I wasn't the only one walking away with a prayer scroll from that raid. So with all of the splits at this point, nearing the end here, only had 10 left to go, ending at 225 as I mentioned before. Did end up getting another Elite Clue Scroll, a couple more relics towards the end, getting some more XP, and for the most part I pretty much chose mining as the main focus for all of my relics, and I do think I ended up getting about 100k mining XP, or at least close to it. But the platinum tokens were not impressing me. At this current point, we had 65 mil. As you can see, the drops were adding up a lot, you know, all the supplies and resources, but I really wanted to see at least one more item before the video finished. So I had a good feeling and I said, you know what, cheers to making it count. And there you go, the last item of the video in my name with 4 left to go. Dexterous prayer scroll yet again. This time it was a 4-man instead of a 3-man, but nevertheless it was a 14 mil split for everyone, and it was a great way to end the video. I was really happy that I got to see that purple light. You know, it was kind of my light at the end of the tunnel, the long arcane prayer scroll tunnel that just seemed to never end. And overall, that platinum stack went up to meet my expectations and make that price check spectacular. So as we come to a close here and reach 225 overall to meet that 100 mark, I just want to say a huge shout out to everyone who did raids with me. A lot of friends that I've known over the years, even some real life friends that got involved, and it was a lot of fun with you guys. Doing things solo in this game is enjoyable to an extent, but you know, at the end of the day, this is a community-based game and it's all about making those memories. So let's go ahead and get into this price check. Loot from 100 Chambers of Xeric. I gotta say, I enjoyed every single second of this. Probably should have had this video done 3 days ago, honestly, but I've been in the process of moving, so you know, you gotta bear with me. Get to that later. So anyway, let's go ahead and price check all of the normal drops first. This is the herbs, the ores, the dynamite, the planks, the gems, as well as the fangs and the arrows. Now all of this stuff does come out to be a decent amount, 17.8 mil. Keep in mind that was all kind of averaging around 20 to 25k points per raid. And then of course we have to add up the second price check to the first, which is the runes, the blood runes, the soul runes, deaths, as well as all the pure essence. 79,000 pure essence for you Iron Men, and that does come out to be just about 4.4 mil. So we go ahead and we add the 4.4 to the first price check and we end up with just about 22.3 mil in normal drops. And now of course we have to open all these elite clue scrolls and see just how much we made from these. And as we open these up, the very first one, we do get a master clue, but I'm going to save that for next video. I don't want to open it for this video, mainly because there's one part of the video that maybe not all of you know about, and I did want to save that till the very end. Overall, we did get about 700k from the elite clue scrolls, so if we go ahead and we add that to the original price check of the normal items, then without the rares involved, we made about 23 mil just in normal drops and the elite clues. But it is about to get a lot bigger than that, so 23 mil is what we made from just normal drops. But if you take into account all the rares and all the splits that we did see throughout this video, 0 to 100, then we have another 80 mil to add to the price check, meaning that we made 103 mil from 100 raids. Now I did say in the chat box that I probably spent about 5 mil on supplies, but I did not account for the scythe, so probably make that about 10 mil in supplies overall, but that doesn't really matter about the profit. What really mattered in this video was just how much we were going to see from the raids themselves. And now that we've price checked and now that we know that we made 103 mil overall from my calculations, it is time to see if anybody guessed that number on 1700 comments. I figured I would do something fun, give away a 90-day RuneScape membership card to you guys if anyone could guess how much money I would make from this video. And it turns out that the number came out to be just about 103 mil. So let's go ahead and Control F. As you can see, we have loaded up 1,700 comments from about a week ago total. And let's see if anyone guessed 103. Let's see. Control F. 103. Looks like we got 2 hits. One of them's down here and one of them's up here. Let's go to this one up here. Let's see. Where could this guy be? He guessed 103 mil. Here it is. 103. Oh, I think he guessed, personal gain, 372,685,103. Yeah, you're not there, man, but almost. All right, we have one more reply. Could this be someone who guessed 103 mil? It's only one more. Let's see. Here it is, right down here. Zach Smith, 3 days ago, 103,792,455. Wow, somebody actually guessed it. Well, congratulations to that guy. He will be contacted shortly for his 90-day RuneScape membership card. Just wanted to do something different for you guys. You know, maybe I'll do that more often in the future. But yeah, as I mentioned before, I am in the process of moving from Florida to New Jersey, and I might be a little bit busy until the 1st of next month. But nevertheless, I still have 2 really good videos coming out for you guys to wrap wrap this month up, and I'm gonna have a whole lot planned for the months and the year coming, because there's a lot of things that are gonna change very soon, and they're all gonna benefit my work ethic and things like that. So with all that being said, thank you very much for watching. I've dragged this video out way too long. Until next time, Mr. No Sleep out.